Hello everyone, my name is Matt and today I am going to be showing you the basics of Redstone. I will be talking to you about A, how it works, and B, what you can use it for. Quick disclaimer before the video starts. Most of the designs featured in this video will only work in Minecraft Java Edition. Some may also work in Bedrock, but not all of them. Please keep this in mind as you try to build them for yourself. Well, let's crack on with the video then, shall we? So first of all, what is redstone? Well, this is redstone. Now, redstone can be used as an electricity form inside of Minecraft. It can be used for a number of things, mostly to interact and change the environment around it. A good example of that is the piston or the sticky piston. If I just grab a lever, a piston and a block, you can see that the piston will move this block. Here you can see the effect of changing the environment. Now, this little tutorial series is going to explain everything you need to know. First of all, the basics. So, I am going to get myself some yellow wool. It doesn't have to be yellow wool, I just like using wool so you can, using wool to show multiple circuits so you know which is which. I'm going to explain a few components in this video, and I will try to make sure that nothing is too complicated. We will start off with all of this. So, how this works is, if you place down the redstone dust, you can see you can do this. If you right click it, you can make it look like a dot, but that's just for building purposes to make it look like blood. You can connect redstone like this. Now, how does redstone work? If you place it down on a block, and then you place activation on any part of the block, it could even be underneath the block. I'm gonna show it a bit like this. As long as it is on the block itself, the redstone will be powered. Now, levers just give an output when they're powered and stop giving an output when they're not, as you can tell. When I flick the lever and the redstone gets powered, you can tell because it's more red, and now it will be unpowered. Buttons have a different type of powering. They will power and then they will unpower themselves. Wooden buttons will stay on for longer than stone buttons, as you can see here. This can be used to determine the pulse. So, what is a pulse, you might be wondering? Well, a pulse is how long a redstone signal is active. If we use a lever, we are talking about a constant pulse, which means the redstone is either active or non-active, and it won't stay active. It will stay active until it's depowered using a lever. Here we can speak of a short redstone pulse. Oh, let me do that. And this is a longer redstone pulse. Now, the shortest redstone pulse we can create is known as a one-tick pulse, which I will explain a little bit later on. Now, a pressure plate is also something interesting, because if you stand on it, it gives out a redstone signal, and when you walk off it, you can see it stops giving a signal. But if you stand on it, it powers instantly. If you go off, it takes a split second to unpower. If we want, for example, a button, and we want, I'm going to take a redstone lamp, and we want to make it so that this redstone lamp gets powered, like, let's say, maybe a second after the button is pressed. We can do that using repeaters. Just quickly going to connect this circuit, and I'm just going to place repeaters like this. nodes, repeaters, always face like this, in the way that you place, in the way you look, like that. If the torch that does not has a line underneath it will always point to the direction the redstone is going. So if the redstone comes from here, the repeater will not let the redstone signal through. If it comes from here, it will let the redstone signal through. Now, repeaters actually have two different uses, but first of all, they can add delay. But for some reason now it doesn't work. Well, that is because repeaters, unlike redstone, do not power the block underneath. If I were to place redstone here, this would work. Now, why is that? Well, that's known as block powering, but I'll talk about that in a second. I'm just going to place a block there, and now it will work. So you can see, it takes a second for the redstone lamp to turn on. Now, another use repeaters have has to do with signal strength. So if I just make a line of blocks and I place a lever here, because that will make it easier to show it, you can see that the color of the redstone will gradually go darker the further away from the lever. This is showing signal strength. So just like in real life, electricity has to be powered and can't just run infinitely. As you can see here, the redstone stops being powered. So you can see because there's no particles coming off it. Redstone has a signal strength of 15 blocks max. When you get to 16 blocks, it won't be powered anymore. And if you place a repeater here, what happens is a repeater gets powered and outputs a new signal strength, which will make it last for another 15 blocks. And that's another use repeaters give. Now, I am going to talk about block power. This is a strange topic for beginners, so let me explain. When you place a redstone component on a block, the block can get power. Now, this lever is not powering this redstone dust. So, this lever right here is not powering this redstone dust. If I place it like this, now it's powering the dust. No, it's directly powering the redstone. But like this, it isn't powering the redstone dust. It is powering this block. And this block will power the redstone. That's a bit strange, but what this means is that if we place redstone here, it will also get powered. So you can send redstone signals through blocks. This also works with buttons, right here. Now, another thing we can do is we can use repeaters to power a block. So if we do this, and we place a lever here, this block gets what is called soft powered, which means the block is powered, but redstone dust won't detect it. However, redstone components will. So if I place a lamp here, it will work. A piston, it will work. But a piece of redstone dust won't detect it. Now I can place a repeater here because it's a component, so it will detect it. What I can also do is I can hard power the block by making a repeater run into it. Now it's fully powered. Now the redstone dust will turn on. I know this is difficult to understand. If you don't understand it completely, let me know in the comment section down below and I will make a full video on block power. there's one more component I want to talk about, and there's this little fella, the redstone torch. Now, the redstone torch is an interesting one, in that by default, it powers redstone. By default, this repeater is off. When you place it down, it doesn't get powered unless you flick it. Now, a redstone torch, on the other hand, powers by default and can be unpowered by powering the block the redstone torch is connected to, which can be handy. Sometimes you want, for example, when you press a button, if you have a door with pistons, let's say I have a door with pistons here, which is something like this. Now, obviously, you want the door to be closed most of the time. You know, otherwise people can see it. So you can do that like this. This is our door frame here. So you have the door. It's powered most of the time. And when we press this button, we want to open the door. So, with this button here, what you can do is you can run redstone like this. You can soft power that block because it's a redstone component. You press the button, the redstone will turn off, which means that the door will open. I will explain pistons in another video because you can do a lot of things with pistons, and that is too much to do in this video. Now, there are a few more components like trapdoors, fence gates, and doors, which can also interact with it. But I'm going to take an iron door here. Specifically an iron door, because if you right click on an iron door, it doesn't open. The only way to open iron door is to directly power it using redstone. As you can see, this works. Now, it does work with wooden doors, but you can just open it using your hand. Right here, trapdoors can also interact with redstone. And that is the same fence gates. Now, why would this be useful? Let's say you have an animal farm or a big pen or something like that, and you want to open the door. You have this, you want to open it easily, just a flick of a lever, without having to click them and then letting everything out. That's not really good. So power, you can do it like this. Oh, that's the one thing. Probably repeater there. I'll explain why that repeater has to be there in a second. So this, and then when you power this, the fence will go through. Now, why you want a repeater here? As you can see, redstone can travel on blocks. And if we place redstone here, the redstone will go down, and because it's not facing into the blocks, it will not power them. So you want a repeater here or a repeater here, doesn't matter, if the redstone doesn't run into each other. Place the repeater on both ends as well. So that will be it for this video. This is the first video of a series I will be doing of redstone tutorials. Next video we are going to take a look at these little fellas, the piston and the sticky piston, because these are used all the time in redstone and they're really quite useful. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything new, be sure to hit that like button. If you want more of this content, you can always subscribe. It's totally free, I'm not forcing you. If you didn't find this video to be helpful at all, you can leave a dislike as well, so I can know. And if you have any more suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments. So anyway, that's it for me guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!